maybe they have a full-time job, but they don't really get the idea of selling things on Amazon or doing some side hustle and things like that. But I mean, what's the importance of having multiple incomes and having some of that diversity?
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? So I would say more importantly than a side hustle. Well, for me, it's important in a different way, but like more importantly than a side hustle, you should have 10 months of income saved up, right? And if this pandemic didn't teach, like I learned that in 2009, right? Where I would argue, hands down, I was the hardest worker at the company that I was at, like by far. I opened the place in the morning, I made the coffee, I closed the place at night. I still got laid off. And I mean, that hurt me to my core, right? It's like it bruises your ego. I mean, it questions everything that for someone like me, it questions everything. Like the world didn't make sense, right? And I was putting my money into so many different things. I had a truck washing business, I had a t-shirt business, and it caught me with my pants down. And I said, okay, lesson learned, right? I'm never going to be caught short like that. So 10 months salary, you got to have that in the bank. And anybody who's going through any hardship in this pandemic, if they had 10 months salary in the bank, they're relaxing right now, right? So that's to me, like that's like paramount. Now, why have a side hustle is, you know, one is it helps you build skills that you might not be building at your regular job, right? Besides the income, because a lot of times it's not really for the income, right? It's for um, something that you love to do, and oh, by the way, you can generate income from it. Um, the other reason to have a side hustle is if you have a hobby, right? Let's say you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? The internet gives you a way where you can reach like turtle fans and then make money off it. Like no other time in history could you take something that you love doing and monetize it. And it might not happen quickly, but it does happen, right? So it's like a way to take your passions and make profit from them. So it's just, and again, side hustle is not for everybody. Like if you like to work your 9 to 5, come home, watch TV, play softball, whatever and then like you're happy, then by all means. But if you're not happy doing what you're doing, then you need to make plans, right? And ideally, working for yourself is the best plan that you could have. Because like right now, I'm in a position where like I'm CEO, like which is great, right? But I think the biggest stress relief for me is I can go balls out and work hard every single day and know that I'm not going to get fired, right? When you're working a 9 to 5, you could work your ass off, but there could be some political thing going on that you know nothing about, right? Because I was a director at a big company, right, just a few months ago, and there's so much politics in that office with VPs and CEOs. You're just a pawn, and for some reason that has nothing to do with how hard you work or what you're doing, you get let go. And that sense of powerlessness, if you have your own thing, you completely eradicate that. So if you get your side hustle and you can build it so you can work for yourself, you never have to worry about working hard and getting fired. Like that's the worst. Like for me, that was like the worst thing ever, right? So I have like PTSD. So I've like lived my life every day after that so that never happens again. You never want to come home and tell your wife, hey, honey, I've been working hard every day, just lost my job. Like, that's just the worst thing in the
Yeah,
world.
man. Yeah, totally. Great points. Um,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah, I've seen it happen. Fortunately, not to me, at this point, but
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
but man, you can, there's so much politics that's involved. Like you mentioned, I feel like having some other type of income stream, just, you know, yeah, in case, something happens with your full-time job or maybe you don't have that savings built up yet, having another income stream is just so valuable.
In 2008, right? Because I was in the automotive industry, and it was so bad at GM headquarters. People were driving in, and at level 8 in GM, they have like different levels. You get a company car. They had the police there. They would stop you at the gate, look, see if your name's on the list, tell you to get out of your company car, put you in a cab, and take your car. So you go home in a cab and you tell your wife, I lost my car and my job. You show up with a cab with your stuff in a cardboard box. Like that, you have no control over your life, right? So it's like if you could get something going for yourself, it at least puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. I mean, that's how, like, seeing that and looking out, you can look out the window and you can see the line of cars stopped, and there's
Wow.
police there just in case like somebody flips out, because somebody's gonna flip out, right? And they take your brand new car, right? Because you get to drive a brand new car, give you your cardboard box of stuff, and put you in a cab and send you home. And it's just like, oh my God, it was devastating. So like when that's in your brain and when that's like cemented in your mind, you're just like, okay, that's never gonna happen to me. I'll do whatever I need to do. That's never gonna happen to me again. So like
Man, that's
that's why you have
insane.
a side hustle.
Totally. So they didn't even get to drive the car up to the building and go get their stuff. It was just
Stop you at the gate. A lot of times you just ship your stuff home. I mean, people were getting laid off by like the hundreds. I mean, it was crazy. So it was like, oh yeah, pack up it. You'll see someone come packing up your desk and then putting a box with your name on it, and then they FedEx the box to your house. You're
man.
home on a couch. What just happened, right?
God, that's just terrible.
Yeah, you know.
Man, so I'm interested in a couple more things here at Lollaland. There's so much opportunity here to grow from the sound of it. On the marketing side, which, is the lane that I'm in, I'm very curious. What are a couple of the next moves when it comes to building it as a lifestyle brand, and what marketing tactics you're looking to implement?
Oh, this is good. Yeah, because I've been super obsessed with this over the last month, right? Kind of knowing that this was going to happen, and I've been just really doubling and tripling down on like studying different brands and what they're doing, and more not so much what they're doing, because as soon as they do it, it's done and it's kind of outdated, the pace that things are moving, but more of like how are they thinking, right? And how are they reaching their consumers? And so right now, I'm heavy Facebook with Lollaland right now, because although Instagram skews sort of younger to the moms that's our target audience, Facebook is information gathering, right? And with parenting and what to do with school, that's a lot of driving people to the right information, providing the right information. So that's like step one. Step two is I have some original content creators. So I reached out like from the Playtex side of the business. Um, I knew I hate to say mommy blogger, but I knew a mommy blogger who was really good, wrote really good information. Contacted her and say, hey, I need original content for Lollaland. And then, of course, I have a stable of writers for TV Smack Talk who have the ability to just write any subject, any way. So we're going to just create a lot of original content, and we're going to give it to our consumer with as least friction as possible. So maybe it's not on the Lollaland website. Maybe it's just on the Facebook page. You show up there, the whole post is there. You don't have to click to go to the post, right? I'm just trying to give you everything with as least friction as possible. And then the thing I came up with today, and again, I got no problem sharing this because if anybody wants to do it, they can do it. What I'm going to do is, in order to get original, good, useful content, I'm going to contact moms and say, hey, what product over $150 were you going to buy for your baby? And if they come back and say, we're going to buy this changing mat, this changing table, this video monitor. I'm going to say, okay, great. Lollaland's going to buy that for you. All I need from you is a 3-minute video of whether you liked it, what you didn't like, and then allow me to use that YouTube and my Facebook page. And imagine that we're going to have, 30 original videos of moms, and moms love seeing moms in their element with real, authentic, useful reviews, right? And I think it's just going to be really engaging content, right? So it's just a real, I don't want to say inexpensive, but it is, right? It's a real inexpensive way to get like really good content. And you have an intro and an outro, and just find a nice, good, clean way to sort of lay it out. But then everyone gets laid out that same way. And that's going to be a nice, so like once you start doing that, and then like showing up, right? Showing up where parents groups are, showing up where mental health for moms, and being that brand. And then also there's kids who have trouble with like physical disabilities, right? Well, find those kids and give the mom a Lollaland cup, because we know that cup helps, right? If your child's having issues sucking through a straw, we know our cup is the solution. I don't care if you're going to spend. I'm not trying to get $16. I'm trying to help you and your child, right? Like that's what our brand is stand for. Like, oh, here's a link. Our cup is $16. $16? No, here's the cup, right? Like I'm not sending you a link. I'm sending you the cup. Give me your address. The cup shows up, and when that runs out and it breaks or whatever, hit me up again. I'm going to give you another cup, right? Because we're not here to make $16 off of you. We're here to like build a lifestyle, right? And I think once we start understanding that and living in and fulfilling that, it's just going to grow. It's just going to grow the brand, and that. So like, it's a slow, right? It's like a slow grind, but I think and that's everything. That the slow grind is everything. If you go back to anything that you did 4 years ago and be like, if I was still doing that, oh my God, I would have so much success. I'd be so rich, right? Like think about that, right? Anything that you were doing 4 years ago, you're like, God, if I still did that every day, like I did, like I used to be a skater, right? If I still skated the same way that I skated, dude, I would be sponsored. I'd be pro now. I'd have my own sneaker, right? Like that's the thing. So it's like, be consistent, right? Have conviction and like really believe in what you're doing. Listen, but don't listen, right? Like listen to what people have to say in a way that's going to make you better towards your goal, but stay on your path, because 4 years from now, you'll be like, damn, look where I was, right? Versus, man, if I was still doing, you don't want to be the man if I was still doing it guy, right? And that goes for anybody, anything. Go back 4 years ago. If you were still doing whatever you were doing, you'd be great today. Or maybe it's like 5 years or 6 years, whatever it is, right? But it's like, you got to stay on the path. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build this brand, and we're going to slow grow it, but we're going to be like honest, true about what we're doing, and we're going to add value. We're going to be consumer obsessed, right? Like people, oh, do you have the original receipt? Don't return it so you don't have to. No, if you have a Lollacup in your hand and it's bad for some reason, I don't care where you got it from. Here's another one. It's showing up. I'm the CEO. I don't have to check with anybody, right? You have a bad Lollacup product. I don't care what it is, where you got it from. Give me your address. Another one showing up, right? Because we are consumer obsessed. We want you to be like, God damn it, that is awesome. I'm going to make sure my friends, when I go to an infant, a baby shower, I'm buying Lolla stuff, like Lolla, Lolla, Lolla. Like that's what we want to scream. But that takes a lot of time to build that trust, right? And to build that brand. But that's what we're here. We're here for the long haul. So sorry, awesome. I get ranty, but
No, man, it's inspirational.
I'm hyped up, man.
I'm hyped up now.